Is a familiar name to those of you who recall him as the head coach and general manager of the WNBA's Houston franchise, the Houston Comets. In fact, Van Chancellor has coached for 48 years in high school, college, and in the WNBA. To hear him say it, he feels that he is fortunate to have had great athletes that have given him several honors, which include 4 WNBA championships, an undefeated Olympic record with a gold medal in 2004, an induction into the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame, and the Nesbitt Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. Van spends most of his time now playing golf and watching his grandson play sports. Still does some television color commentary, speaks at coaches' clinics, and to civic and church groups whenever asked. This allows him time to give back to the game that has given him so much, he says. So please join me in extending a very warm welcome to Van Chancellor.
You probably have some of the same problems I do as you grow. If you've grown older, you don't hear quite as good. But my voice is really high.
Can't hear you.
Can't hear me.
Don't listen to him.
No, I want to keep everybody happy. That's my goal. Is that better now? You may not know this, but I'm a Chevron retiree. Yes, you didn't know that. When I was a sophomore in college, my father-in-law ran a Chevron service station in Louisville, Mississippi. He paid me $5 to work 12 hours a day. We went home for lunch, and I thought, sure, my father always taking a little nap out on the farm, but we went home for lunch. We ate lunch, and we came right back to work. So I got no privileges of being the son-in-law. Now, the one thing that I did get, I've been married to his daughter for 52 years. She's been happy 40 of them, so we're in pretty good shape. No, excuse me. I was a high school coach. I was a college coach. I went from high school to Ole Miss. In 1997, I wanted to come into the WNBA. And the Comets tried to hire every coach in America but me. They got around to them the Friday before the draft to offering me the job. Somebody asked me in the interview, did that bother me? And I told them, heck no. I went in my mother-in-law's top 25 choices. She told everybody that when I married her daughter, I would never amount to anything. I spent the next 50 years proving her wrong. So they finally offered me the job. My dad was retired at that time, and I called him in rural Mississippi as a cotton farmer, and I said, Dad, what do you think about me becoming the coach of the Houston Comets of the WNBA? He said, boy, don't you be the biggest fool in the state of Mississippi. Women's basketball is not going anywhere. In the WNBA, they'll be folding within 2 years. And besides, you're going to realize this, that when you get to a certain age, that having friends are the single most important thing you can have in life. Having friends, people that you can call on and say, you've been in Ole Miss 19 years and I've never seen a man who coaches that has as many real friends as you do. And I said, Dad, you know, you're right. I haven't thought about that. I'm going to call them up and turn them down. He got really serious on the phone. He said, hey, boy, I said, what kind of money are we turning down? We are turning down. Y'all got the operative word? And I said, Dad, it's going to double my salary. He said, boy, with your personality, you can make a lot of friends in Houston. And that's how I became the Comets coach here. And it was the 10 best years of my life. I moved here. I loved it. We started a franchise. We were building it every time. And so the 3 things that I always had all my life. Always, when I was a high school coach making $4,800, when I was making more money coaching pro, more money coaching at LSU, I still had a great enthusiasm. I still had a great attitude, and I had a passion for what I was doing. So you say, what does that translate now into retirement? Still have the same passions. I play golf every morning at 7 o'clock. I can't wait to get up and play. I go then at about 11:30, I have lunch. By 12:30, I take a nap. And then in the afternoon, I watch the grand boys play ball. Now I'm doing that. I'm doing nothing right now as well as anybody. And you can't outdo nothing better than me. I'll tell you that now. So I carried all those three passions into doing nothing. And this is what I think you do in retirement. I believe this. You make a difference in people's lives. It may be grandchildren. It may be children. I try to do these things. Have a little random acts of kindness. Just do things for people. Maybe they're not kin to you. Neighbors, mow grass, do something. I try to write people. I try to write my grandchildren once a year. Now, and I don't do an email. I don't do texts. I get a letter and I mail it to them. Now, they have to get my wife to translate my handwriting, but the reason I write it to them, I want them to open that letter, and I try to challenge them to do certain things. So you got lots to give. You might be giving to a neighbor. You might be giving to a young person. Your wisdom, what you've gone through for a lifetime, you can influence people around you. You may not know that, but you can. By just what you do and how you live. And you don't have to be a coach to do that. You can be in anything. Because we have had to have a tremendous influence on our grandchild. Our oldest boy, he's 16. He had an elf. He had an elf in algebra. He didn't want me to buy him a car. I told him, I said, son, there's no car coming till that grade gets to be a B. Do you know in 6 weeks' term, he went from an F to a B? I mean, that's motivation. And I talk about motivation. I'm going to take this jacket off. I talk about motivation some. I will give you an idea of how I motivated them when I was coaching. When I was coaching here, I'll come back to the mic. In 2008, we had a magical year with the Comets. We won our first championship in 1997, we won our first championship. 1998, hardest single thing to do to get them to repeat. My two star players didn't like each other. I had to work with them every day. The only time they got along was when we played games. The rest of the time, no, they didn't go together either. But in 98, we had a magical year. And pro basketball, we still have the highest winning percentage there's ever been. 30 games out of 32. We get in the playoffs. We beat Charlotte just like that, 24-19. I'm thinking we're going to get another ring. I didn't like the rings as much as I like riding downtown in the fire trucks. When you won championships, 100,000 people would come out in downtown Houston when you rode the fire truck. That was the best thing about winning championships. It wasn't the bonus, money would just spend. But that's a memory. And so we go to Phoenix, Arizona. The day before we are to play, they announced the all-WNBA team. And it's a problem. One of these superstars makes second team, the other one makes first team. We don't play good together. We get beat. Now, there's not but a best 2 out of 3 series. We come home to play Phoenix out here at the Combat Center. And we're down 12 points with 7 minutes to go. In a miracle, we come back and we win. We're playing the championship on Monday night on national television. I don't know what we're going to do because we're still arguing. I can't get it solved. We're still not sharing the ball like I want to. So, but I'm so thankful we come back. I'm a good Methodist boy. I run to all 3 church services the next morning, 8:30, 9:30, and 11. Somebody said, the Lord don't care who wins championships. I said, let me tell you one thing. I don't know if he cares or not. I just want him to know, just in case he does, whose side I'm on. I was playing all the little cards. I go to practice and I'm arguing. I can't get it solved. About an hour after practice, my Mississippi State buddy calls me. The men's basketball coach calls me and he said, Van, I don't care anything about women's basketball, but my wife loves you and this team, and I got no choice. I have to watch every game you play. He says, I got a suggestion to win the championship. I said, Richard, that's a fine time you called me. Practice ended an hour ago. All I got is a shoot around. You're asking me to make a little subtle change on the day of the game? I don't know if that'll go. He said, yeah, it'll go. He said, run your little plays and then run this little offense right here. It's very simple. Have Monica Lamb screen for Cynthia. Have Tina Thompson to screen for Cheryl, and let Little Parrot distribute the ball. So I stayed up all night trying to figure out a way to sell this to grown women. So I went to the bank and I got $10,000 out. Oh yes, And I walked in with a big white towel and acted like these are all hundreds. My wife won't let me have that kind of money now. And I said, ladies, I need your attention. Just like that. I said, ladies, may I have your attention? I got something I want to sell you on. I didn't let them touch the money. It was falling on their shoes. I said, I want you to believe in me enough. They're all $100 bills. That they are just like, I want you to believe that this towel is purple. And let me tell you something now. They don't make NBA money. You see this woman over here in the black? She was paying about halfway attention. When I pulled this money out, I got her undivided attention. And that's what I had with my players. I'll tell you that right now. So I said, can you believe that this towel is purple? And if you can, and this money's going everywhere. It's all $100 bills. There's no ones and there's no fives in there. And you got to believe that this towel is purple. If you believe it's purple, here's what I want you to do. Monica, you're going to scream for Cynthia. Tina, you're going to scream for Cheryl. And Kim, you're going to pass the ball around. And if you do, we're going to win our second ring. And Cynthia Cooper said, Coach, what in the world does all that money on the floor have to do with us believing that this is a purple towel? I said, Cooper, if you believe in your coach and make the change, each one of you is going to win $10,000. She looked up and she said, Coach, is that a dark purple or a light purple? I then cut the lights down. I walked around each one. I said, what are you going to do with your money? Kim, what you going to do? Lamb, what you going to do? Cynthia, what you going to do? All 11 players said, Coach, after we win this championship, I am going shopping. I promise you, man. I turned to my assistant. I said, tell him that I wear a size 11 and a half. He said, how do you figure that? I said, well, let me tell you how I figure that. There ain't nothing that'll motivate a woman any more than shopping. We're going to win this championship. And we won it by 18 points.